of March. Welcome to this new month, and I'm very sure now you're still evaluating yourself. The first 2 months of the year have gone, looking at your resolutions, looking at what you plan to do. How far have you gone? Well, in the same spirit, we also want to look at government programs. How far are our responsible, to what extent? Most of them want to look at some of the lowest levels, borrowing from the parish development model that went as low as the parish. We want to look at implementation of government programs at council level. And with me in studios this morning, I have, that is the KCCA councillor, that is for Machinje 1 parish, and that is in Machinje division, Abeka Mubazi. You're most welcome.
Thank you, sir.
It is very interesting, and I'm honored actually to have a councillor at KCCA, where we know many times during elections, even maybe many vote, but not knowing very well the roles, as we see to members of parliament.
Very true.
That's when we vote and tell you, this man is never misses a burial.
True,
you
true.
send an envelope.
True, true.
This man is always with us. So to begin with, when we talk about a councillor at KCCA level, because you know in March you have the divisional level, but at KCCA level, what are your roles?
Thank you very much, Mr. Kirabo. Mubazi Baker are my names, from Makinde Division, and a councillor at LC3 in the capital city of Uganda. That's KCCA. A councillor, our basic role is to bridge the gap between our people at the grassroots with their government. So me as a councillor, my role is to ensure my people are informed and aware on how to benefit from a government service and guide them, and also be able to sit in a council. That is what we call, we have a division council where we sit and discuss issues of our people in the different areas and how we can deliver service to them. So as a councillor, basically that's my role. Yes, sir.
Talking about that role, one also would love to know, how do you get to your people? Because this is going to give us the bedrock of understanding, if at all there is any role in most of these government programs. How do you connect to the people? Have been in some of the areas, and unfortunately enough, I mean, I'm under you, if I may use that simple.
Yes.
But I always sometimes ask myself, the ideas we hear, when do these people get to us? If I may put that in simple language. So how do you get there? Views like you've said, so that you can represent them.
Okay, because a councillor is someone who is always with the people, with the population. And our role is to be with our people. Like those are the grassroots people. So we get to identify always the gap. The fact that we're always in the population, we're always in communities. We know where there is need for a government to improve. We know where there is need for what is needed for our people maybe to get out of poverty. Because we shall understand their well-being when they are down there in the community. That's how we get information. And the information we get is what we are able to pass on through our hierarchy, through the mayor, and then up to the council and discuss the matter.
Still, let's understand, for example, you're at KCCA, which is very true.
Yes.
Many times between the political and technical wing.
Yes.
How effective, how implementable, how authoritative are the decisions that you make in terms of transforming, being carried on, implemented by KCCA?
When we sit in council, most of the times the council has to compile a variety of like requests from our people. The fact that we are always with our people, so we collect that information and take it to council. The authoritative ground for a council apparently is at the division level, because we are still having a request issue whereby now power comes from the authority, that's the city hall. The city hall is the one to inform what has to happen at the division level. So it becomes kind of a challenge because we're still working on how we can see a way forward to the devolution of power. At least if the power can also come to the division, in that it does not only stop at these minor logistics within the office. At least when we have power to implement our own work. Because today, you may report a pothole, and an engineer may tell you that pothole, I have to wait for a budget from the city hall. When that budget comes, that's when I can look at that pothole, which affects us on the ground. Yeah, so our authority is a bit low, apparently, due to that kind of hierarchy, because the processes tend to get longer for those requests to be implemented. Yes, that's the challenge we're having, apparently. But we are looking forward to see how power can be brought back to the division. Okay.
Yes. Now let's understand, you've given us one of your major roles, which is representation,
yes,
ensuring that the plight, the problems of the people are brought to light in your hierarchy.
Yes.
But when we look at various government programs, now we're excited over the parish development model. Yes. What is your role in this?
My role, as we councillors, when power comes to a parish, it comes back to the councillor. So we need to work as leaders joint. When we look at an LC 3 councillor who is always with the community, is able to identify the different associations and the capacities of his parish. So we embrace the parish development model because it has come closer, other than before, whereby the bureaucracy was too much. So since it has come closer to us, we shall be in position to ensure our people benefit. So we are looking forward to that. My role will be to bridge that gap, basically inform them, educate, train on how they can benefit from that. Yes, sir.
We've seen a number of programs that government has had so far. We saw the Myoga,
yes,
which now, of course, the parish development model has engulfed. We've seen the Youth Livelihood Fund. We've seen the Youth Capital Venture Fund. We've seen even circles where communities are urged to save amongst them, government injects money into them. We've seen all these happen. The politicians have still been there.
Yes.
But most of these programs have moved at a snail pace. Others, for example, the Youth Livelihood, we've seen many go into hiding for failure to account for. We've seen others, they have stagnated. Others have not yielded fruit. Where have you been?
Let me start with an appreciation with the aspect of mind change that is in parish development model.
Mindset change.
Mindset change. Because before, we had the feeling our people didn't know that this money is for taking back, or it's a revolving fund. You benefit and another one also benefits. Someone expected that if I get this money, I can go maybe and marry.
It is a bonanza.
So some people had that feeling when they were getting this money. But for us, and even this overwhelming politics within Kampala, because Kampala being a city, there's a lot of politics. So we call upon maybe other people in other parties to also embrace the good development of the government, because some of them tend to block these programs. They tend to say they have hidden intentions. Someone has brought these now, like the Myoga. The timing could have been political, but the benefit was for every Ugandan. So some politicians, those opposition, some of them tend to bring it like the government has come to campaign, things like that. Some of them have just got to know of late that it is necessary, that they're all beneficiaries, when now parish model is coming in play. But Myoga has been there all along, and they politicized the program. So the program started stalling. So what we have decided as basically me and Mani Narem councillor, we have decided to come up with a mechanism on how we can support our people and create the information. We want to bridge that gap of information. We train, because training is continuous. We have to keep informing. Today the government may launch, but let's also do our responsibility as leaders, because some leaders have not done their part. They have not taught the people, they have not educated the people, they have not told them what they have to do to benefit from a program like this. So look, going forward, we say we have to continuously train our people and educate them in that we change the way they think towards the service.
Very interesting, but also this brings me to the question, you can only give what you have.
Yes.
I've interacted with a number of councillors, I won't mention names,
True.
over a number of government programs, but many seem ignorant.
That's
many
true.
seem not even knowing what these programs
That's
are about.
true.
Today, I bet, take me to councillors in any gathering, one by one, ask them, what is the parish development model? What is it all about? So, lack of knowing what to pass on is a hindrance. In this, is there any arrangement of inclusion? Is there any arrangement of maybe ensuring that you're well versed with what the parish development model is? Recently, I saw a number of them praising pillar number 4 as if it's only about
only
financial inclusion.
Yes.
Yet there are so many mindset change, there's infrastructure, so there's the 7 pillars have so many good components, but everyone has jumped onto one. So to what extent have they taken effort, or have you as individuals taken effort to understand this for better communication and bridging the gaps like you've said?
Thank you, Mr. Chirabo. Now, that one comes back to your leadership skills as a leader. Because information, we normally have a discussion in our council that information is not going to find you where you are. You have to look for it. When a government program comes and you are there for your people, you have to look for that information and get it. So, and we call upon, maybe we had, it was 200 billion, whereby 20 billion was information flow, education, training. So they should also come to the leaders and train them. We as NRM councillors in Kampala, we came up with an association. Our association, its mandate is to train, educate continuously the people. Because if I may give you just a simple background of how some of us were able to become councillors under NRM due to the ongoing wave. The fact that we were telling the people the truth, and our people loved us and they believed in what we had to say. And we told them the service is free, as don't believe in what others say. So we went through a lot and we identified that gap, that the president does his job as a president of the country, but now in the middle is where we lose track. So we have to bridge that gap. If the president, the commander-in-chief, does his part, launches like the way we saw the parish model, and then it reaches in the middle there, then someone is not accountable at the end of the day. We have to eliminate that going forward. So our association is going to be focusing on how do we train even the leaders. We train the leaders and they also understand what are their people accountable for, what do they expect. Because our people down there, the expectation towards government is a bit low due to lack of enough information. So we are going to ensure we train, educate these people, and it will give us mileage going forward.
Talk of an association, what is this called? How is it going to carry out this work? Because rightly speaking, Kampala is an area that has a number of youth. Many youth come here.
True.
It's an area where they pursue mobile.
Yes.
Today is in this village because many of the ordinary Ugandans are renting in Kampala. Well, they shift to another. So how are you going to throw more light on this association you're talking about, like you've said, that NRM councillors in Kampala have come up with, and we also know how it's going to help bridge these gaps, inform, sensitize about this parish development model among other programs.
Thank you, Mr. Chirabo. Now the association is called, Citizen Forum for Civic Awareness Uganda. It's called CIFOCA Uganda is the short form. Our mandate and our basic, we start with the leaders. The mobility of the population starts with the leader. Today, if you are an LC1 chairman, if I may say, because you are, and you have the information, someone comes and asks you, how do I get a national ID? And you are equipped with that information and the process of how it flows. So someone says, okay, there is a NADS program. How do I benefit from a NADS program? Because even the services provided in Kampala being a versatile environment, people are mobile. So someone says that that program is also like mobile and has a time frame. If we say we are going to give out, let's say we have a mushroom project whereby ladies can create maybe on their verandas and they do some mushroom farming for their livelihood. So when that lady can shift to another place, but with the knowledge, that knowledge goes on spreading. So our association is going to be mainly ensuring that you are aware of what you need and how to benefit. Now, when it comes to the parish model, we want to partner with, we heard of Government Citizen Interaction Center, led by Ms. Kadeche, because we try to engage her on how she can assist, extract information, because I always disturb her. What information? Please, there's contradictory information on ground. Please help provide what is needed and what should the people know. As you also stated, there are 7 pillars, but you're all looking at the 4th pillar, that's the financial aspect. How are we looking at the agriculture bit of it? Because we saw recently the president handed over tractors in Chibuku, which someone asks, how do we benefit in Kampala? Because for us, we don't have what? Where to do cultivation. But there is also another, what we call, there's on a pillar, that's the 2nd pillar, where there's industrialization. In Kampala, we have many small-scale people who are doing maybe shoemaking. Some are making they're making this solid, they say liquid soap, and women are making different groups. So if at all through this parish model, all those groups can be put under one umbrella, and they are facilitated by government, they are able to benefit at the end of the day. Because if government comes and maybe creates the market, because there's a market aspect in parish model. So if the market is available, it is already increasing someone's livelihood, and people are going to another level. So if we embrace this, because us as an organization, we want to make sure information is propagated to the grassroots. If it reaches the grassroots, it is a plus for us, and hence keeping our government more stronger. Yes, sir.
Indeed, if it can get to the ground. But also one of the issues that arises is bureaucracy. Simple as it may be, it has come to the parishes.
Yes.
You're going to see many saying it is hard to access the funds. That is pitiful. Many will say it is hard to access this. And where then do you come in? Forming circles, I saw how many youth under youth livelihood. Remember even when you had, I think it was 5 million per a group of about between 5 to 10. You remember that,
yes,
Councillor, very well.
Yes, yes.
But I saw circus. The youth would want someone to do this for them, do that for them, paperwork, here and there. We know most of our youth, the urban poor, are illiterate. Many of them, issues of documents are something they don't want to handle. And as a leader, identifying this, how are you going to intervene?
Thank you, sir. Now, our intervention as leaders is making sure information flow is clear and how someone can benefit, because it has been our biggest challenge all along. And it is the reason that we lost popularity on ground, because people say, because we had recently, some people didn't know what a myoga meant. Yeah? So we want to...
That was your flagship program.
Yeah, it was our, really, we tried our best, but majority were saying, I don't know what a myoga. Someone comes up and says, it is for interim leaders, yeah? Which was really bad bureaucracy and bad publicity, because people don't tell our people the truth. So as a leader, we are expected to educate and know what is needed and assist on the process, because some of these youth are ready to learn, but no one is training them. That's why I always bring you back to our association. We are going to ensure we at least help you where necessary. We bridge the gap for you to access the service. We shall ensure we help you fill those forms. We meet the different groups and educate them on what service they are supposed to benefit. Because now at the division level, we have what we call UWEP, Uganda Women Enterprises Program, whereby many women are not turning up Those who turn up, they have like other interests. So it's also an information gap. So to avoid all this, we want to bridge that gap. Always information is available. We have to, apart from going on mainstream media, we have to create simple demonstrations. On me as a leader, I'll create a demonstration in a village at the parish level. And my demonstration will be how to access that program. Let's say we are looking at the parish model. Someone will say, as long as may get money. Yes, you're going to get money, but how? Why are you getting that money? What are you going to use it for? So we do demonstration programs. How to access the fund, how to benefit from the parish model. Then we bring it to the community through our LC1s. We tell them, at least we are coming to this village, we do a demonstration program on how people benefit from the parish model. So it will help us going forward.
Indeed, information is power, and of course we know that all these government programs, one of the hindrances has been that many times people do not know what to do to access the services being put in place by government. And you're looking at the role of these councillors when it comes to government programs implementation at council level. We know under decentralization, the main issue was to bring power and services closer to people. Now, these are locally elected leaders at that particular level. What should they do? What are they supposed to do? Because here in Uganda, in terms to politics, what they are supposed to do and what they do sometimes differ.
Yes.
And unfortunately, even our electorate have continued with understanding things the other way. That a good debater, a person who does his research, comes on the floor of parliament, discusses here and there, delibers on the core roles of a member of parliament. When it comes to the ground, he may be considered very weak.
Yes.
A person who may not even contribute to debate, budget approvals, allocations, but maybe never misses service.
Because if I may be...
all that, then he has the votes.
Just to add on that, sometimes you heard of the mindset change. This is a very key point.
Definitely.
Yeah, because we have to move from the other Kampala, whereby someone has to step on a table and he gets support. What are you accountable for? What have you done for the people? Because our president normally tells us every other day, like, why would someone first do something to get mileage? But he has to deliver at the end of the day. Hold him accountable. Because, you know, when we talk about some of our core values, there is what we call patriotism. Patriotism is broad. It's very broad, whereby even someone who offers a service in a government office, you have to be patriotic to your country. You love your country, and you are able to do something like for the good of the country. Because if you love your country, why would you give a bad service? Because sometimes you're also facing challenges. Me, I normally do some demonstrations in the government office and request a service. But you see someone trying to play around. Why would you play around because this is your country?
And someone wants a service.
Yeah, someone wants a service. You do it diligently for your country. Yeah, that's why me, I'm a promoter of patriotism.
Baker, this is a bit funny, but please take no offense.
It's okay.
Councillors, many times, have been criticized regarding ability to internalize, understand, and also capacity to demand for what needed to be done. I'll take an example where you sit.
Yes.
As a journalist, I think I've sat in the sittings 3 or 4 times. And you know what I'm talking about.
True.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Many times, even because a parish development model is where government is using a multi-sectoral approach and bring it at the parish. There will be issues of infrastructure that in case of any development, start at the parish. Health, start at the parish. This begin at the parish level. Your ability to the group, local councillors, to internalize, to push for, to demand and understand. How realistic
can this be if you rely on you as leaders at this particular level?
Yeah, thank you, sir. That is a very broad question, because we are people of different beliefs, and what we really love about what for the people. Because the challenge we are facing as a council, most people have selfish interests. Instead of service delivery, someone may say, today I want this council down. Let me just give you an example. Recently we had a dubious act by one of our NOP councillors. They went ahead and locked the division. I was among the people who even got a hacksaw to cut that padlock, because I was very frustrated. How could you lock Ugandans to access a service because you have a grievance of a failed council meeting? So, me, what I would call for, I think we need training. We need training, and serious training, and continuous training. Because leaders have to be held accountable at our village level. We are the direct connection to the people down there. They can know how an individual slept more than an MP or an LC5. They can know that someone is sick. I can know that this person needs this, which is really a challenge. Some of us don't go an extra mile to bring our people to know. So I think we need training, because you as a journalist, you may have sat in our councils and you have seen how many express themselves. They are not.
Actually, one of the things I've identified at a divisional level councils is that many a times little of substance is discussed.
Yes.
Most of the times you find petty issues, allowances, this will click, we have clicks in here, then this click, that click, then we don't want, I don't know why council, it's very hard for them to complete a 5-year term without, we want to overthrow speaker, the chairperson is not doing right, and you find that little do we see proper documents put on table for discussion. Little do we see them address issues that pertinently concern the people. And maybe that goes back to the quality. We could expect much from people who can't deliver.
That's why I stuck on that point of mindset change. Our people down there, some of them need to know, who are we voting? Is Mr. Chirabo competent?
People get leaders they deserve.
So, because instead of saying this wave came, we have to shift from that. Uganda is growing. We shift from the wave and account for what we have to deliver. Because if today, now we are 96, us, councillors, we doubled the number of the other term, they were 46. Today we are 96. Now 96, you have 10 people who can maybe speak sense. Who can bring substance on the floor. But because some other people have their own selfish gains, they say, we have to do this. So I think, because me, I stick on information flow, because our people down there, by the way, they are getting fed up. They have had enough of such elections whereby they just select people they don't know. Because some of them will go back to the communities. You find an LC1 calling you of another electoral area asking, does my councillor say something inside there? Has he talked about our garbage? Does he even bring anything on committee? Because we have committees. So on committee, does he even say anything? Someone says allowance, salary, things like that. So we have to at least emphasize, how do we educate these people? How do we inform our people down there? We also request you as media, because now some services like media doesn't cover. They cover the other people, because for them now they also have this tendency. We have a slogan, they say, "Kamera kakute." See, so all of them are looking for a camera. Where's the camera? Where's the journalist? Please come and take a bite, because I'm opposing. So we move away from that and look at development. How do we develop our people? We are losing that track. So if we continuously train and educate our people, I promise we shall see change. And me, I want to see change in marking the division, because I'm going to ensure we train these people. The next election, we have to say difference.
Next election, well, one of the highlights there in that submission has been people should learn to value their vote.
True. That is very true.
People should learn to value their vote and know actually the people they're electing, what is their core mandate? Is it about a person who is going to fight?
True.
Is it about a person who is going to dance? Because it is in this country where someone is given or voted because he's a very good insulter.
Yeah.
So as we wind up this, Baker, let's look at, as a councillor in your docket, what do you think government hasn't done or should do to ensure effective implementation of this parish development model where you also can come in?
Oh, thank you. The government has done 70% of its work.
Okay.
But sometimes my belief would be the people who implement. I think they also need, I don't know, could it be patriotic training? And sometimes we run out of logistics, because recently we had a challenge of a gender section in Makinde division doesn't even have a vehicle to do like inspections within the villages to check on these groups. So we request more effort on that. We appreciate the government does its part, but it reaches in the middle there. We don't know what really happens, whether they lose interest or something like that. Because we normally have, I had a story of a man who was told to drive mad people to Butabika. The man went to Wandegeya and ate some food, then the mad people escaped from the vehicle. Now when we still have that challenge. The idea was taking mad people to Butabika, which was a good one. You collect all the mad people on the streets, drive them to Butabika.
People that have mental illness.
Yes, mental illness. So when the man got out of the vehicle to have lunch, not knowing his driving,
mentally ill, escaped.
They escaped. Now what he did, he says, what should I do? I have to deliver mad people, mentally ill people to Butabika. He said, if the taxi is 1,000, I will say 500. The man packed the van and he collected people at 500 shillings to Luzira. Then he drove the thing towards Butabika. And he says, I've brought the people, and he left them there. Everyone was saying, I'm not mad. But so that is how our program sometimes reach in the middle. They come when they're really good. But in the middle there.
Implementation, supervision, monitoring,
yes. So it's where we, as government, because I also consider myself government, we need to add more effort. That's why I may believe in my association. I want to hit there hard. Why is supervision not done? Why is monitoring not done? Because parish model is doing a data collection aspect, which we have not been doing. Recently, we were giving out machines. Popcorn machines, juice machines, and media didn't cover that. I was a bit touched. That's why I had to approach Mr.
So you feel there is so much that is being done that the media is not bringing out there to show people that really something is being done. But I want to thank you so much, Mubazi Abaka, for finding time. And of course, we hope that we shall see these government programs really implemented, and the leaders at local councils being very, very passionate about these programs and involving themselves. Many times we've seen politicians shun some government programs because they don't see where they benefit them directly. If maybe is a new councillor and this is something transforming livelihoods of people, maybe they are not, but they are very present when people express concern about a pothole and they are going to strike. They are there, and of course, like you said, they make sure Now it's time for development. Let's remove politicking and politics from this. Let's push forward for this new child, which is the parish development model, to see the light of the day as we transform people from subsistence agriculture to commercial agriculture, but also improve their livelihoods, those that are not in the agricultural sector, but other pillars of the 7 that make up this model involve them. Have a lovely day. Sports is up next. See you tomorrow, God willing.